The lyrics.
Oh.
I might need to post it later.
Oke, coba.
Is that my microphone?
Di mana?
Di sini, taruh terus di kantong belakang ya. Kabelnya lewat belakang.
Ininya kayak gini atau kayak gini? Kayak gini ya?
Ya, nih.
I'm going to put on this.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Oh, Wilbur Schramm. I know him. It's
Di
been a long
kantong belakang
time.
ya?
20 years ago. No. Met him in the books. Theory of communication, right?
Iya.
May I put that inside so that it's not visible?
Ah. Here, maybe. Yeah? Okay. I have my lyrics of my song. Flash it later? Okay. Oh my God. I can hear it.
Kembali tepuk tangan, Joebel Gurang.
Masih. Good morning. Good afternoon. So, thank you for inviting me. My name is Joebel Gurang. I am Filipino. And my Indonesian friends call me Yulianto. 10 years ago, I was baptized as Yulianto, thanks to my Indonesian friends in the Netherlands. I took my master's in the Netherlands. It's called Masters in Science and Applied Communication Science. Same as that guy over there. That's where we met 10 years ago. But before that, I am a graduate of mass communication, major in journalism, and minor in broadcasting. But I am not from media today. I am working for community development. I work with Habitat for Humanity International as the Program Design Monitoring Evaluation Manager. It's too far. What I have done, what have I done? How I got into this. So is it something, is it a track? Is it a pathway that maybe other communication students may go into? Is it a good pathway? Is it worth it or not? So maybe that's your question. So I'm going to try to answer some of these questions. I hope we'll be able to have a good time this afternoon. It's a different but similar way. I'm going to explain why it's also a similar way, even if it's not media or even if it's not public relations. Okay, I'm going to tell you about my crazy playground. After I graduated with my bachelor's degree, I went straight to an international NGO working for, the focus is community development. We organize communities, families, governments, and private sector for them to be able to develop programs and projects for the improvement of the lives of children. And then I stayed there for 5 years, and then I joined the government to manage a location for an anti-poverty project of the government. And then after that, I went back to manage a local NGO, and the focus is on community development. So with my three previous work, it's more like dealing with talking to communities, communicating with children, with the young people, with their parents, with their local leaders, with their local health caregivers and service providers, with their governments, communicating with fellow organizations, communicating with my boss, my staff, communicating with the media, talking about what we are doing to the public. So that's pretty much what I have been doing. The challenge is sometimes it's difficult to make people come together, come up with common solutions for development. Sometimes it's true, it's easier for communicators just to communicate a message and hoping that the other person who received the message will understand what we meant. But the challenge for my job is not only, I'm talking to this guy, I'm talking to this guy, and make sure both of them understand each other so that when they talk together, they will arrive at common solutions. So it's like multiple communication, right? So it's like we're trying to not only communicate messages, but we're also trying to encourage different stakeholders to communicate with each other and come up with a meaningful solution. How is that for you guys? Is that more challenging? Yeah. So that's, I would say that's a more challenging world that we are right now. And I'd like to tell you more about the challenge I have. Normally, when we talk to different stakeholders, government, private institutions, communities, this is what the common questions are. Where are we now? Where are our communities right now? Where do we want to go? What are peace, reduce poverty, what's that? World peace or lasting peace in the community, sustainable development? The third question is, how do we get there? So we're talking to different people here. But they might have different opinions, but they might have common goals, right? So I went back to my master's after 10 years of community development experience. Went back and took applied communication science. It's a communication science that is also more focused on sociology, social science, organizational communication, communication with not only mass media but the different stakeholders. And I came across this statement. It's similar to actually what I've been doing for my first 10 years. And it looks like a mirror of what I've been doing. Okay, someone wrote what I've been doing. I didn't know that actually this is already written since 1994. I graduated to 1997, but I never came across this statement. I have to practice that myself for 10 years and then go back to school and read this. Okay. All right, what I learned in my master's is these 3 common words, which is actually similar to what I've been doing for those 10 years after graduating in college. Disciplinary meaning collaboration among similar disciplines. Communication, scholars or professionals, you talk about how to solve communication issues. Social sciences like psychologists, sociologists come together, biologists come together and solve different curiosities and questions. Multidisciplinary meaning you come together with other disciplines, like architects or engineers, come up with and solve a problem together. I don't know if you have in your courses, have students in different courses, but you have like in one classroom, you have a classmate from different courses. Have you had that in your undergrad courses? In one classroom? None yet? So that would be good. That would have been a good experience for you. But I'm saying it's not only in class where you learn knowledge. You can learn knowledge in the canteen with speaking to others that are also not necessarily communication students. So This is what I mean by multidisciplinary. You can also learn or gain new knowledge by talking to other disciplines. And solutions, common solutions maybe to society problems, community problems can be solved, can be defined by collaboration between different disciplines. The third thing that I'd like to share, which I think my favorite at this time, is collaboration between and among scientists. These are the different disciplines, but also policy. This is the government and maybe the policy making bodies. The practice, meaning us in the development sector, the business people, people in the media, people who go to work daily, and then the communities where we served. And then what I learned also is multi-stakeholder platforms. What are these words? I'm going to elaborate that further. Okay, that's what I learned from my master's. And then when I went back and I started to work in another NGO, it's another international organization working for child development, but later on in a housing organization where I am right now. And this is our common problem. We have challenges in understanding the impact of our work, the effect of our work. If we build houses for families, how sure are we that they improve their lives? If we train teachers, how sure are we that students really improve their learning? So those are some of the challenges that we have. We don't have enough guidance on how to study those and learn if we're actually contributing towards development. And then we also have challenges in looking at solutions, different programs. Is training a good way of learning accumulation by communities? Is providing materials or infrastructure services really improve the lives of people? And then we also have a problem in working maybe with our own organization. It's hard to communicate with your boss. It's hard to communicate with your colleagues. You are a program person and the other person is a finance person. It's hard to communicate what about the project is, but it's hard for you also to understand what they're saying about the financial aspect of the project. So it's really a challenge about getting along, understanding the message of your other colleagues. And then also the beneficiaries. There is sometimes a tendency for development workers that they see communities as just recipients of goods. They receive relief goods after the Merapi earthquake, and then you don't care about what they say. You just assume that they benefited from it. But if you ask them, maybe their lives are worse now because you gave them those wrong materials, right? So we never cared about their feedback about the projects that we gave them, which actually we never learned from it, and we ended up giving the same things, right? So I'm not saying we did that in Merapi earthquake. I'm just giving an example. But if we don't really care about what they think, then we ended up doing the same wrong things over and over again, right? So communication is important, and also feedback is also important. Okay. And then also it's hard, while we are in the development sector, it's very hard for us to have time to have conversations with scientists. I don't know, I think this is my first time in 2 years or 3 years to visit a university. See? Thank you, Johannes, for inviting me. So it's hard. We have very short, and we don't really have we are not really intentional in having conversations with scientists on how we improve our work. But that's a challenge for us, and I think that's the reason why I'm here, just at least to have that feeling and have that understanding, and then maybe open some gates for me to understand further what science is telling and telling me to improve my work. And then the unmaximized role of communication and facilitation. In this work that I have been to, there are a lot of connections that I could have been maximized and improved, and my work should have been improved if I maximize these connections further. But there are a lot of connections, and I think communication is really important to maintain these connections. All right. So if you look here, there is a distance between scientists and the government and the workers. And then there is a distance between scientists, communities, and government. If there is a distance, if there is no communication, or if there is poor communication, what do you think happens next? There is misunderstanding. We will all believe in fake news, right? Because we miss that connection. But I think one way of getting along together is at least finding common goals so that we'll be able to believe in our common goals and then come together and communicate. So I think in the area where I'm working right now, our goal is housing. So we communicate with sectors, the housing sector, the government, the different organizations, local organizations, communities, to ask them what housing solutions is relevant for these different locations. So that's what we're trying to ask them. And by asking those questions, we come together and we talk about solutions. We come up with solutions that we think is relevant, and then that's where we find resources or funders to fund our programs and projects. You see, it's like circles. It's very simple circles, but if you see, I think this part, this is the most meaningful part of the relationship, because everyone is involved here. How we wish, or how I wish that I know what's happening here. Maybe the solution to world peace, or solution to community development, solution to lasting peace is here. But we don't know what it is, right? We will never know if we will not be involved in the conversation, right? If we don't communicate, if we don't ask questions, if we don't talk to others, if we don't listen to others. So I think communication is important here. So you don't only communicate among scientists, among your colleagues in the communication department, you also talk to others. You also talk to policy, you talk to the government, talk to your neighbors, talk to your parents, talk to the man on the street. You'll find some solution there maybe. You talk to your communities and make sure that you'll find this part. And then you'll find a common goal, at least, to strive further. There is a box here. What could this be? There should be something that helps facilitate this relationship to come together, right? What would that be? All right. I think in my experience, this helps this sweet spot here come about. So I'm challenging communicators like you to find multi-stakeholder platforms, not only directly communicating to one person, but find common ground, common like bigger groups, and have a conversation together. Make sure that you help in facilitating the conversation and you come up with some solutions. Go to church, go to meetings, join organizations, attend classes, and ask questions. And also ask other classmates from other buildings. That's where you generate questions and solutions. If I may go back here in my experience, what we did is that we tried to engage in my work in the NGO sector. What we did is we asked scientists to help us come up with research. So we want to know, because we are implementing projects, right? Of course, it's hard for us to see whether our projects are effective or not, because we are the ones implementing. So we ask third-party external people to see the result of our projects from their perspective, from their scientific perspective, and tell us whether we have succeeded or not. So that's why we employ researchers for evaluations. And we also ask our counterparts in the government whether our relationship as workers for the communities is healthy or not. And we also ask ourselves as program staff if we've been efficient enough in delivering services to the communities. So that's policy and practice. And what we also did is we went to the communities to ask them, how was our service? Are you happy with the service? Are you satisfied with our services? If not, tell us how we can improve and serve you better. So we went to the communities, asked the families separately, asked the children, asked the women, asked the elderly, asked the people like with disabilities, how we can serve them better. So that's communication, right? All right. And through that kind of conversation, we collect all these results, our conversations with communities, the results of researches from experts, and our consultations with the government, and gather them together and come up with common solutions on how we move for the next 3 years. So we identify common projects together, and then how we're going to solve them, and what resources and where will resources come from. So that's what we're doing in the development sector. My reflections that I'd like to share to you guys. Scientists and academics, maybe you're still part of them because you're still inside the university. You need to be more engaged with the real world and not only among yourselves. Yeah? See how you can apply the lessons that you are learning today in school, and see whether you can test it outside the school, whether it really works or not. People in policy and practice need to be clear about their curiosities and research needs. They should be ready to realize what they don't know and what they should know. So our governments, us, that's us. And then communities, including its subgroups, meaning subgroups, the sector, the farmer sector, the elderly, the young ones, need to be aware of their rights and the value of their voice in development. What is your role as a communicator here? I think, in my experience, the role of the communicator is for these different groups to realize their role. So if you're talking to the communities, you have to tell them that these are their rights and this is the value, there is value if they participate in development. They will be able to influence government policy. They will be able to help the government improve its services. The people in policy and practice also will learn more from scientists and from communities. And scientists will also learn not only from their laboratories, but also from the real world. Okay. So, as communicators, you, me, I think I can still call myself as communicator, but in a different context. Our role is to let everyone above to be aware about the importance of their contribution and participation in development. And aside from being communicators, I think we are also facilitators and need to be familiar with the context with our locations and be aware of the channels and platforms for multi-stakeholder and transdisciplinary conversations, like what we're doing today and like what you're going to do in the canteen tomorrow. Talk to your neighbors. They think you'll be crazy. But I think if you create that kind of atmosphere and if you start searching for that multi-stakeholder platform, they call you crazy, but you're actually crazy intelligent. And then you'll be able to have something to communicate with others. So maybe my last message for communicators and facilitators like you and me, you are the line that connect the dots. So stand proud and get ready. Thank you. Where's the guy? Okay, while waiting, maybe if you have questions. All right.
Maybe one song.
Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. Johannes is really making me work now. So this is also one way of how I communicate. If sometimes it's hard to tell stories, I just sing it. Can you put the... okay, this song is a Tagalog song. Maybe try to listen to the words, because Bahasa and Tagalog has more or less have the same words, right? Pick up some words that you think are similar and ask me what it means later, okay? All right. The title of this song is Sangandaan. In English, it's Crossroads.
You okay? Oh.
Higher, please. Yeah. All right, let's do it. Walang komplikasyon ang buhay mo noon, kalooban mo'y panatag, kalangitan ay maliwanag. Ang daan ay tuwid at patag sa buhay mo noon. Ngunit bawat pusong naglalakbay, dumarating sa sangandaan. Ngayong narito ka, kailangang magpasya, Aling landas ang susundin ng puso? Saan ka liligaya? Saan mabibigo? Saan ka tutungo? Kay daling sumunod sa hangin at agos, aasa ka ng iyong dalangin, gagabay sa iyong damdamin. Ngunit saan ka dadalhin ng hangin at agos? Alam kong bawat pusong nagmamahal dumarating sa sangandaan. Ngayong narito ka, kailangang magpasya. Aling landas ang susundin ng puso? Saan ka liligaya? Saan mabibigo? Saan ka tutungo? Saan ka liligaya? Saan mabibigo? Saan ka tutungo? Any words?
Ada kata-kata yang sempat nyangkut?
Langit.
Langit.
Sky, right? Langit? What else? I don't know. Yeah, we can talk again. There are more words that are similar with you. So I know I'm familiar with the language of North Philippines, Middle Philippines, and South, because my parents was born there and born there. I was raised in the middle, so at least I'm familiar. So now there are words from the North, Middle, and South that are actually similar to Bahasa Indonesia. So when I was with Johannes and the other Indonesian students in the Netherlands having like a picnic at the after class, so I learned some Tagalog words are actually similar, or Filipino words are actually similar to Bahasa. So manok is bird. Manok to us is chicken. Baboy is pig. Here it's babi, right? Kalabaw. Or Carabao. It's Kerbau, right? Asu is asu. So we count, in Tagalog, we count isa, dalawa, tatlo, apat, lima, anim, pito, walo, siyam, sampu. In the north, we count may isa, dua, talo, upat, lima, enam, pito, walo, siyam, sangapulo. Yeah? So actually, if you ask a Filipino and ask them about their language, they can only speak to you about maybe Tagalog and then compare it with Bahasa. But I think there are other languages in the Philippines that are also, you can pick some Bahasa words that are not in the other languages. So it's your turn to come to the Philippines, visit us, and have this lecture also, right? Okay, enough talking? Sing? Okay, can you live in love? Okay. Okay, this is a song I wrote 10 years ago when we were in the Netherlands, and everyone is getting homesick because it's been a year that they were in the university and they were not able to go home like this guy. So I have to write a song for them just to make sure that we are actually in good moods. I forgot the lyrics, so you have to play it. It's been 10 years. Live in love, get out from the dark. Let's share the light with the colors around. Live in love, trust your heart. You know that life is still inspired. When it chores, down, 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 down. When everyone's leaving, every corner's chilling. When the home you're dreaming is just not around, just sit by my side and hold me tight. Let's gaze at the stars above tonight. Live in love, get out from the dark. Let's share our dreams without the walls around. Live in love, trust your heart. You know that life is still inspired. When your chores are queuing and your list are piling and the weight is pulling you towards the ground, just call my name, I'll rise you up from the lane and always be there to lend a hand. Live in love, get out from the dark. Let's share the songs with the people around. Live in love, trust your heart. You know that life is still inspired. Live in love, get out from the dark. Let's share the light with the colors around. Live in love, trust your heart. You know that life is still inspired. Just call my hand, let's wait for the sun. You know it appears when the night is gone. Just hold my hand, let's wait for the sun. You know it appears when the night is gone. Thank you.
We have finished dan terima kasih sekali tepuk tangan.
Thank you.
Dan demikian acara video lecture sudah selesai. Terima kasih teman-teman. Sampai ketemu di lain kesempatan. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Good. Continue with another song.
What?
Encore, encore.
Okay, okay. Do you have a song you want me to sing? I don't know your songs today. What?
Unit 3.
Yeah? Like Jean? Oops, sorry. Just kidding. Okay. So Johannes plays with me actually. He plays the drums when we go to different places. So I play in a bar, regularly every Tuesdays and Wednesdays. That's where we kill our homesickness. You see, it's a good thing. So Johannes come with me with his drums and we play together. Sometimes we also. Johannes set up, okay, he's not here, so I'm going to talk about him, right? So he put up a radio station in the Netherlands, and he plays a different kind of music, depend on what the requests of the audience. So mostly Indonesians. So one day he invited me, why don't we do it differently? So I was there and singing live songs, and he was the one playing the drums. And then requests for songs came in. So we were singing the songs on a live manner. So this song is one of the songs that we played. So I hope you like it. It's an old song, maybe your grandmother's song. I see trees of greens red roses too. I see them bloom only for you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, the clouds of white, one bright blessed day and dark sacred night. And I said to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow sing sweetly in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They got me saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They learn much more than I ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I said to myself, what a wonderful world. Thank you. Should I sing more? Oh, thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Should I sing more? Or just wait for Johannes to call us like... Oh yeah, ask him, he sings. Okay. Maybe you sing. So we play, you sing. He's serious? He's going to get the drum? Oh. Oh. Okay. So why did you do that? Why didn't you do that earlier? I don't know. Oh my God. I don't remember the lyrics, but okay. Okay. See the mountains hanging on the window in the evening on a Friday night. See the cars shining on the window when you know everything's alright. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through this jasmine in my mind. Sweet days of summer, the jasmine's in bloom. Sugar is window, I'm playing her tune. I come home and a hard day's work, and I'm waiting there without a pain in the world. See the curtains hanging on the kitchen, evening and the days are two. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind. Summer breeze makes me feel fine, blowing through the jasmine in my mind.
Oke. Masih ada yang lain? Ada request? Lagu bahasa Indonesia? Can you sing?
Ask them to sing kopi dangdut. Ask them to sing kopi dangdut.
Oh, ada yang bisa nyanyi kopi dangdut?
Come on, come on. Kopi dangdut. Kopi Okay.
Okay. Now,
Yeah. You make me work, really. I don't know another song. I ran out of songs, man.
Kau begitu sempurna.
You sing it.
Oh ya.
Or do you know? You want to sing it?
Malam ini.
Cewek-cewek yang apa mas?
Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Sambil ya.